Summer is almost over, and your wardrobe needs an upgrade, right? Fall is my favorite time of year, and I can't wait to tell you about Quince. Instead of a flimsy, fast fashion haul, spend your money wisely on a high-quality essentials that will last beyond the season. Quince is my spot for quiet luxury without paying luxury prices. Quince offers a range of must-have items like 100% European linen, under $50, luxurious mulberry silk skirts, my fave, and of course, Italian leather bags and 14-karat gold jewelry from $30. All their prices are 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And because Quince creates a timeless, classic styles that won't go out of fashion, you'll have them in your closet forever. Think a curated closet by Quince. I love fall time. I love wearing skirts with my sweaters, and I love mixing fabrics. I can't wait to wear my cashmere sweaters from Quince with my silk skirt. That is 100% washable. I love that Quince is dedicated and believes in creating high-quality, timeless essentials that will be worn and used for a long time. They're going to stay in my closet, and they won't end up in the landfills. I know you're wondering how they do it. Quince partners directly with top factories to cut the cost of the middleman and pass the savings on to you. If you go to their website, check out their about, they have these wonderful guides on leathers, linen, cashmeres, and silks, and they talk about their sustainability mission. I would definitely give it a look. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices in premium, eco-friendly fabrics and finishes. So I can feel good about getting high-quality items that last longer. Upgrade your closet this summer with Quince. Right now, go to quince.com/thinkloud to get free shipping and 365-day return on your next order. That's QUINCE.com/thinkloud for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/thinkloud. Ooh. Yep, that's right. Ooh. That's the sound I make after I use my Hello Tushy. You can't fight fire with paper, so what do? I smooth my booty after every duty with a precise stream of water. Taking a dump shouldn't cost you money, and your relationship with toilet paper is costly. Cleaning with baby wipes gets nasty chemicals all up in your cracks, and sometimes your finger just might slip. So washing with Hello Tushy Bidet saves your fingers, your toilet paper costs, and I guess your beehole. With over 100,000 5-star reviews, see why millions of real pooping humans, like me and you, already love the Hello Tushy Bidet. Every Hello Tushy Bidet attachment comes with a 30-day risk-free guarantee and a 12-month warranty. If you enjoy your me time, and sometimes your me time is on the toilet, you should get yourself a Tushy too, because no one likes a dirty beehole, and it feels good. The Hello Tushy Bidet cleans your bum with a fresh stream of water that is 2 times better than wiping and prevents poo particles from spreading to your hands and everything you touch. It attaches to your existing toilet, requires no electricity or additional plumbing, and cuts toilet paper use by 80%. A Hello Tushy Bidet pays for itself in under a year. Stop wiping and start washing. Go to hellotushy.com/TLC and use promo code TLC for 10% off your first order. That's hellotushy.com/TLC for 10% off.
Welcome to the Think Loud Crew podcast, where there is no longer 3 mothers. There is 3 of us from TurboFit keeping it real. And we're going to give y'all the spill on the app.
I'm done. If only you guys saw us argue about
kicking
this
y'all
intro.
off one by one.
Like, how did we not
He didn't
make
even
the
introduce
cut?
us.
Anyways.
They know you guys.
Hi, guys. today we are joined by Zach, you can see or hear, and then we've also got with us Turhan and David from TurboFit. Some of you guys may know David already as All-American Dave. That is our stepdad.
All-American
Retired fire captain.
Ex-football player.
Ex-football player, yes.
Are you supposed to call it an ex-football player or like retired or like stopped football player? Okay.
He played.
I didn't want it to make it sound so harsh.
Definitely wasn't there long enough to retire.
Damn.
Yeah, that's like there's a difference there.
There's a difference.
I learned something. Okay, so our idea is, and you guys can tell me if it's a bad idea or a good idea. Actually, you can't because this is already uploading by the time you're listening to it. So if it's a bad idea, keep it to yourselves. Anyway, we have them all here.
We gotta say who Turhan is.
I know, we're getting there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like ready.
Turhan is TurboFit with Dave, the Tur.
I'm done.
He's the Tur and Dave is the bow.
Dave's the bow for
That
Bowdry.
can be the fit. There we go.
Yeah.
And my idea is that this is going to be a 2-part episode. Yes, it's going to be the first episode. Next week, you guys are going to get the second part of the episode. This first part, I really want you guys to get to know Turhan, David, and Zach. You guys know Zach and you know David, but I don't think you really know their sports backgrounds. Mm-hmm. Who wants to be in the hot seat first? Do we go oldest to youngest or youngest to oldest?
Youngest to oldest.
God damn.
Dang.
I'll kick it off.
Best for last.
Y'all already know me, Zach. I went to Culver City High School. I played football. I ran track. Well, before that, I started playing football. I don't even know what age that was. It was Pop Warner football. I was playing tennis before that. Ever since I put a helmet on, never went back.
To tennis?
Never.
Dang.
I didn't pick a racket up ever after that. Not one
How
time.
did your
Maybe
dad
to play.
And your dad was on the.
He was the head tennis coach at Westchester Park at the time.
And his dad
Riviera.
was a tennis player.
Professional doubles player. He traveled the world playing tennis. So, he kind of bred me to play tennis, follow after his footsteps.
Like, no.
But the contact sport took over. Tennis is still fun though. I love playing it. So football happened. I ran track. I ran the 4x1, 4x4, open 2, open 4.
Do you guys know these terms?
I do.
Yeah.
I
David
ran.
said it with such confidence.
It sounds
so
like
quick.
a foreign language to me.
I did a lot of track, and the thing is, I did not want to run track, but at Culver, track was mandatory if you played football. Any skill position. If you're any a skilled position, then you need to run track. They just make you just to stay in shape and to keep you healthy and proper form, everything. It plays a role in football. So
I guess.
But it sounded like you ran a lot of
I ran a lot of races because it was fun. I used to all the what were they called? What were the big track meets called? Invitationals. I used to love the invitationals. Those were fun. Mount Sac and Arcadia, running all those.
So were you fast?
Yes. I was pretty fast. I did well. I was fast, but there was cats that was fast. We was running against.
There's levels. Okay, Dave has known Zach since Zach was how old, David?
I don't know. 9, 10, or younger.
Yeah, it might probably Pop Warner days. Yeah, around then, 9, 10.
8,
yeah.
So was he fast, Dave?
He was fast. He was fast. No, he was fast.
I wish I could find the old footage, but Pop Warner days, it just wasn't. It wasn't fair.
What do you mean it wasn't fair?
I would just be running by every single person. It was easy.
Better.
Yeah, Pop Warner was easy growing up, and then until you get to high school, you start meeting people that are your size, your speed, and your capabilities. So shit got real.
Yeah,
but I was still good.
Yeah,
I had every Pac-12 school at the time looking at me. Oregon was of my interest. That's where I was gonna go, but. Things happen. Grades happen. Injuries happen. Ended up going to Fullerton Junior College. Was playing there. Tore my hamstring again for the second time. And after that, I just hung my cleats up. I was just done. Depression settled in and shit got real. Yeah. Couldn't play sports no more. So
when you were playing sports, do you think it kept you out of trouble? Or kept you out of things to get involved into?
It did, but then I always found my way, diving in. Yeah, I just found my way in trouble. I don't know
The
what it was.
streets are calling you.
Yeah, it was.
Come out
it
and
was
play.
tough. I wish I just would have locked in because I always seen the kids that went to school, did everything they were supposed to do, did it by the book, didn't go out, didn't party, and then there was my group. We partied, did it all, but that group, prospered. They made it to the NFL and started doing things. So I saw the difference. I always wish I could go back and do it again. I would do it differently, but I'm content where I'm at.
Now that you kind of see how it has played out, if someone asked you like how important is fitness or how important is it to like put that level of discipline into your body, what would your answer be?
That it's something you need to do. It's very important. It plays you as a kid. I never thought they used to tell me before everything stretch. It went in one ear and out the other. Never really stretched. I would stretch, but I wouldn't stretch the way I was supposed to. Sure enough, I tore my hamstring, and that's the reason why I couldn't play anymore. So it's like
a hamstring.
all the things that you hear as a kid, it all comes to light, when you get older, because then that's when it starts trickling down and you start having an effect in your life. So I don't know. It messed me up. It was tough hearing it all from my dad and then seeing it all play out.
What do you mean hearing it?
Like, you need to stretch. You need to take everything serious. You need to go to class. You need to do this. You need to do that. So
yeah,
you just got to take it serious. But I'd say fitness, your overall health is very important.
Yeah. All right.
I was going to say, what do you do now to kind of keep...
Ooh, Peloton and Turbo Fit, baby. Yeah. But Peloton helped me lose like 20 pounds. Intermittent fasting, Dave put me on. That really helps. I did that for a little bit. I kind of broke that. But I'd say those two things really, they helped me a lot. I lost 20 pounds in like a month.
Yeah. And I think like, well, not so much for him, but for me, drinking. Like, I love to drink wine, and I stopped drinking wine. Like, I was drinking wine, like, not every night, but like every other night / every night. And I could really see the difference within like the fasting and everything, but just the way my body feels, like besides the fact that I have the worst sinuses right now, but like everything else feels great.
Your energy level could be completely different.
That's still zapped, but yeah, I would say it's getting better, but between like 2 kids and our house, I think I'll never have real energy. But I don't know. I think it's just interesting to hear Zach talk about his background with sports and stuff, because I know it is like a subject that not a sore subject, but definitely a subject that like I don't like necessarily bringing up, because I do know that you are affected by it.
Oh no, I'm good now. Before I didn't watch football. I didn't talk about it. I couldn't turn the TV on and look at ESPN. So now I can watch it. I'm trying to hop in fantasy leagues now. I'm betting on it. So
Not betting
I'm good.
on it.
I'm good. I'm all right. But I did have that depression phase where I didn't want anything to do with sports.
Which I feel like you're not by yourself. I'm sure there's plenty of athletes, young athletes, who go into it thinking they're about to be the best of this, and then reality or different things don't work out the way they plan, and then they don't end up making it to the league.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
It definitely happens. I think one thing that I'm going to do as a parent, moving forward is you got to stop, telling these kids, you about to be this, that, and the third. You got to, make them work for it, because you start enabling them and they start to really think it and they take it for granted. And they start thinking, okay, I'm this and that. I'm not going to have to do this. In reality, you're going to have to do all that. So
Were people telling you were the best?
all day long. And I started taking shit for granted, for sure. I was, had referees coming up to me after the game telling me shit. And I'm just like, all right, it started getting to my head a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's hard. I feel like there's so much pressure that's put on children or like teens to perform. And it's like, I played on travel teams growing up, and it's a lot. Like, just
the high school level now is like collegiate level. They have everything is different. It's crazy.
And what is it with like the NIL deals?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's insane.
I wish I was playing in this time.
You know
crazy.
what?
Especially with social media
Social
now.
media, yeah.
Social media can
We
blow
had
it
no
up.
social media, no nothing. Like, I think my highlight reel was put together from our quarterback, and it's like a recording of a record. It's so bootleg.
I remember.
No, real. I never got my highlight tape because Cover kicked me out my senior year because I was living on permit. So that really, kind of threw me off. So
Man.
my summer wasn't really there. I didn't really have time to fully work out. And then when I finally committed, I went to Crenshaw my senior year. And then that's when my first hamstring injury happened. And then I was going to school for that first 2 weeks, and it wasn't school. There was no, it was just you go to class, go to homeroom, and then after that, you're just kind of running around. So I pulled myself out of that, and I went to home studies. I felt like that was the only way to get myself out of it. So
I think what you said about the pressure that, like, as parents that we could put on our kids, I feel like it's also that same thing of living through your kids.
Vicariously.
Yeah, and I literally looked at Ryder this morning, and she tried out for competitive cheer yesterday. She's doing a fashion show in New York next week, and I'm like, I'm living through my child.
oh my God. No,
But
yeah,
she
facts.
loves it, so I can't even be mad at it. But I'm like,
Right.
these are all the things I wish I was doing when I was not her age, but probably like older.
You did.
I did it, but not to her capacity. So I was looking at her like, wow, you're really living out mommy's dreams. And then when we were looking at schools for Ryder, we're also looking for schools for Ace eventually. And I'm like, oh, they need to go to this school. These sports are great. And Ace, it was like a newborn. I'm like, why are we even thinking about this right now?
But it's
Ace is for sure gonna play ball.
Ace has an arm,
I'm
so
gonna
I
tell
don't care
him
what
just like
anybody
my daddy
says.
told me to. It's gonna be the
But
same
yeah,
talk.
no, it's crazy. But I appreciate you sharing your background within fitness and sports with us.
I didn't know it was hard for you to watch football.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
struggle.
Like,
I would only watch it at like Super Bowl or playoffs.
Think
or something
about
like
watching
that.
it with people that
That you know and
played,
played
that you
with.
know,
No,
that
and
you're
that's
like,
the
damn, I
craziness.
could
Yeah.
be on that field.
That's hard. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the hard part.
But that's one thing my dad
And
did
there's a
say. He
lot of
said the
that
best talent, the world's best talent,
in
is on the
LA.
streets.
Yeah.
So and that sat with me my whole life, still to this day. But yeah.
Summer is almost over, and your wardrobe needs an upgrade, right? Fall is my favorite time of year, and I can't wait to tell you about Quince. Instead of a flimsy, fast fashion haul, spend your money wisely on a high-quality essentials that will last beyond the season. Quince is my spot for quiet luxury without paying luxury prices. Quince offers a range of must-have items like 100% European linen, under $50, luxurious mulberry silk skirts, my fave, and of course, Italian leather bags and 14-karat gold jewelry from $30. All their prices are 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And because Quince creates a timeless, classic styles that won't go out of fashion, you'll have them in your closet forever. Think a curated closet by Quince. I love fall time. I love wearing skirts with my sweaters, and I love mixing fabrics. I can't wait to wear my cashmere sweaters from Quince with my silk skirt. That is 100% washable. I love that Quince is dedicated and believes in creating high quality, timeless essentials that will be worn and used for a long time. They're going to stay in my closet and they won't end up in the landfills. I know you're wondering how they do it. Quince partners directly with top factories to cut the cost of the middleman and pass the savings on to you. If you go to their website, check out their about, they have these wonderful guides on leathers, linen, cashmeres, and silks, and they talk about their sustainability mission. I would definitely give it a look. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices in premium, eco-friendly fabrics and finishes. So I can feel good about getting high quality items that last longer. Upgrade your closet this summer with Quince. Right now, go to quince.com/thinkloud to get free shipping and 365-day return on your next order. That's QUINCE.com/thinkloud for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/thinkloud. This episode is brought to you by Betterhelp.
Sometimes in life, we're faced with tough choices and the path forward isn't always clear. I've definitely had this moment, and recently I've had to figure out how I can get help. I finally signed up for therapy and it's changed my life. I've been learning positive coping skills and how to set different boundaries in my life. And I'm finally becoming the best version of myself.
If you're thinking of starting therapy again, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, it's designed to be convenient, flexible, and it's suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge until you find someone that fits what you need. I've been going through a lot of changes lately. I'm still in the process of moving. I just got a new school routine with my kids. I've got my work life, and I'm juggling a lot of things right now, and I don't want my mental health to slip. I've worked really hard to get where I'm at, and I think I'm going to get back on BetterHelp so that I can learn how to manage what I've got going on so I can get through it. If you're working on growing and being the best version of yourself, let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/thinkloud today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thinkloud. Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/thinkloud and get on your way to being your best self.
All right, Turhan, give us your background.
All right. Well, you want me to go way, way back? And,
I want you to go back to that moment.
Those years, yeah. So, growing up, I guess I like to eat.
I guess I like to eat.
Wait, can we go back even before that?
Before you started eating?
Before he started eating. This is family here. Like, who are you to Dave? Like, let's go back to the family setting. Like, we know how Dave knows Zach. How do you and Dave know each other? How is Tur and Bo? How'd y'all fit?
Yes,
Bo.
I'm
How do y'all
Tur
fit?
and he is Bo. So Dave, obviously he's my uncle, and everybody, looked up to Dave. Dave was the man. He was Big Bo. He still is Big Bo. Talking about him like he's not here. Anyway, yeah, I just, his legs were the size of tree trunks, and, he had a, thick neck. I mean, he was just...
Football.
Yeah, from football.
The thick neck is killing me.
You know what? I've never thought about how men describe men until this moment.
Yeah. Well, he was a man's man, and so he was somebody that I idolized, and I still do. And so I wanted to look like him. I wanted to be like him, and, the whole thing. And so, that was one of my motivations for wanting to lose weight. But the biggest motivation was I was tired of my sisters punking me.
So wait, what did you look like?
You like to eat.
Yeah, back to the you like to eat.
Yeah.
You described how David looked. How did you look back then?
No, that was funny.
I was a chubster for sure. But yeah, big belly. I had a really big butt.
Y'all, I've known
I
Turhan
need to
for
insert a
like 15
picture.
years now, and this man has been fit like the entire
whole
time.
time.
So to imagine him like
With a
unfit.
big butt and a big belly.
Yeah, I was Kim Kardashian.
Oh no.
But it was pretty bad, and kids made fun of me, and my sisters. They had some nicknames for me. Hungry Hippo was one of them.
Damn.
And they.
I'm not laughing anymore.
I'm not laughing because
bullying is not.
bullying
It's not.
is real.
This just got really
It
serious.
just got real. No, I'm sorry, but it was difficult. But then, one day, and my dad was pretty hard on me, and he was an athlete too. He was a baseball player, and he wanted me to play baseball and all that. And I was okay. I wasn't great, but
Wait, are we talking middle school or are we talking high school?
middle school.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
middle school. So were you teased at school too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was teased at school, and so I kind of kept to myself, and was always the last kid picked in basketball, if ever picked.
Little assholes.
I'm just remembering all this.
Aw,
I
Turhan.
know, I'm about to cry. But no, I'm
touch
okay.
you?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
I'm like,
Aw. Did you block it out?
I did block it out, actually. But what I would do, though, is this is when my fitness journey began. So I would do sit-ups every single night. And I got to doing like 1,000 sit-ups
A night?
a night.
Oh yeah, you were going
And
in.
I would do push-ups. My dad would take me out on the track with him. And I worked hard.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to high school, I was ripped. I really was. I was ripped.
I don't know why I'm picturing like that movie scene where like in the one scene he's like the little chubby kid, then the next scene it's like he's at the high school like pulling his shirt up at the locker and he's fine as fuck.
Somebody happens to have a water hose and
Yeah,
can't buy him.
Turhan. Did you have one of those moments?
I did actually. No.
So they found out his name was Turhan and not Hungry.
Hippo. Why you gotta bring the hippo back up?
Saying.
Yeah, it was a little game, but anyway, yeah. But so when I was about 16 years old, that's when I started to grow, and I'm almost the same height as I was
Yeah, you grew
back then. Yeah, I grew. Yeah, so I'm almost 6'2" now. I'm not quite 6'2", but that's what I tell everybody. I'm 6'2".
You look 6'3" to me.
But yeah, so that's where it began. But so I started playing volleyball in high school, and my dad wasn't happy about that. But it was I could jump. I had wheels, I had speed, and I had great genes, and our family is we're athletic, we're athletes, and eventually fast forward here, I had some accolades in high school. Went on to junior college, won a state championship there. Went to
Still playing volleyball.
Long Beach State, won a national championship there, and went on to do a lot of things and played some professional beach volleyball just for a minute. And
Beach volleyball is hard. That's a tough.
Did your dad ever come around?
yeah, he came to my championship games, but he was super busy working and things like that. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen him more. But I think, the baseball, me leaving the baseball thing, he wanted to, live his life through me in baseball. He was a great baseball player growing up, the whole thing. So, yeah. So, yeah, big Bo knows. So, anyway, so that's a little bit about me.
You've coached.
Yeah, I've
Come
coached.
on, hype yourself up right now. I've over the year I've heard different things, and I'm like, wait, what? Turhan did what? Or I'll be
Yeah.
I
like,
didn't know you played volleyball. I thought you
Yeah.
just coached volleyball.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So,
I was a player.
I was a
Real
baller. Yeah. So I wanted.
Was it 42, 43 inch vertical?
What is
I was
that?
48.
How high he can
48-inch vertical.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know if y'all understand what that
crazy.
is.
Yeah.
That's
Shit.
really
Okay, is
high.
that okay? Is it like the long pole with the little tabs that come out and you jump?
He would have went over the
Okay.
Yeah.
That's-
top of that.
Okay, so what happened? Why did you say you
insane.
played professional for a second?
You really needed family support. You needed money because it's an 8-hour-a-day job. So if you're going to play on the tour, you had to train all day. I was working, and at the time I had 2 little ones, and I just
Life took over.
life took over, and I had to get a real job.
So it's like one of those things where you need like sponsors almost.
Oh yeah, no, you have to have it. Yeah.
It's like tennis.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Golf, all those types of sports.
You gotta,
always
you're
wondered
not
about
getting
that.
no money unless you winning, but you paying to play pretty much.
Is that why
you
they
gotta
say,
pay
like,
your own travel fees, own hotel fees?
Golf is like a rich man sport.
Basically.
Golf is not. Yeah,
It's not cheap.
all them players that's playing in the PGA, they paying their way in there. They still paying their money.
Literally paying to play.
They're
Yes.
paying. They're paying for their own trip to get out there. Everything.
Yeah.
They're all flying private jets too. They're paying that money, so
you
they're
gotta pay
going
the
there to
trainer.
win. Yeah, you gotta pay your
nutritionists,
caddy,
you gotta pay all
everybody.
this you got a whole,
have a whole
bank,
roster that
whole
you
team
paying,
you gotta
yeah.
pay.
Yeah.
So they going. They trying to win.
100%.
I see like golf players, I see them get money. Do volleyball players, if they win, do they get money?
Good
Yeah,
money.
top 10 make a really good living.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make a couple $1 million a year
Nice.
doing that sport. Yeah.
What about like Olympics? Is that like ever, is that a thing?
Oh yeah. Oh, big time. Yeah. So the Olympians typically, those are the ones that make a lot of money because they'll play professional all over the world, and that's where they get,
Like the volleyball circuits.
yeah,
No way.
yeah. That's the ultimate. But I think my excuse me, my claim to fame as a coach is being the first NCAA Division I black volleyball coach in the history of the sport
USC.
at
There we
USC
go.
University of South
Wow. See? Kyle said there's more.
And the crazy thing is, so like when I was in high school during the summers, I would go to the USC volleyball camp, and I don't remember what any coach is, but I'm like, sometimes when I first found out, I was like, I wonder if Turhan was there the whole time.
Oh, God.
Like, I wonder if he was a coach that like interacted, or I may have seen, and I don't remember anybody. But yeah, I used to. They had a good program.
Yeah.
Did you like coaching?
Oh, I love it. It's my passion. Yeah, I can never get away, no matter how. If I'm a billionaire, I'll still coach.
What is it? Is it like the interaction? Is it?
It for me, I was, out of control and a wild child, and I had a coach in junior college. They called him Big Daddy. His name was Keith Stanley, and he just kind of became a second father, and really put me on the right path. Taught me leadership and honor and integrity, and things that I knew nothing about, and I've always felt like, man, it was such a blessing to me, and I want to give that back, and to see kids' lives changed and their character change, which is for me the most important thing. It's so rewarding, and it just keeps me coming back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you have a coach like that you can think of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Librato.
Librato?
Yeah, I used to play with his son. He used to pick us up every day for, like, no matter where we live. We were living in Westchester, he lived in Culver City. He was picking me up every day, driving us to Palisades for practice. I don't know, pulled me out of, what was it? Culver City Lancers at the time. He was like, nah, you need to come over here. You about to play with us at the West Side Bruins. So, I don't know. He's my dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to find him.
Have you ever thought about becoming a coach?
Yeah. But it'll take a lot of mental for me. Like, I'm still trying to get up the mental to go back to Covert or one of the high school games, because we get full field access. We come on there, sit on the sideline. I still haven't did that, so I gotta make that step.
Should
first.
we make this a thing? Like, would you like?
Zach steps on the grass.
Would you like a support group?
No, I was gonna take Ace and Rod one day. Just bring them, because they'll let us all on the field.
Yes.
So just bring the kids up there.
Let me bring my
Yeah.
boys too, bro.
I ain't. We can bring them.
I'm trying to find a field for my kids to run around. They have so
But yeah.
much energy.
I just think it's so cool to hear Turhan talk about like the impact that a coach had on him, to the point where he's like, I now want to become a coach. Where I feel like you have the same.
I feel the same way. Like, I can make that impact on somebody else's life. So it's kind of just giving back. And I feel like at some point in my life, I'll find it and go do it.
Yeah.
I feel like the start is the TurboFit app. Just getting my feet wet back in there. So
I love that.
it'll open up other doors.
I
See
agree.
where it goes.
I think it's really healthy that males have that like team sport interaction as well. Like, it's still like an individual sport because you have to perform, but being able to like work with each other, be able to listen and receive your coach, like you said, it teaches you so much, and those are the skills and like those little pieces that make you, I think, like a more receptible human or person to discipline or listening or helping or just taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy you guys had these experiences.
Yeah. Terhan, thank you for sharing, especially going back into like tapping into your childhood. Got a little emotional here for a second.
Ooh. Yep, that's right. Ooh. That's the sound I make after I use my Hello Tushy. You can't fight fire with paper, so what do? I smooth my booty after every duty with a precise stream of water. Taking a dump shouldn't cost you money, and your relationship with toilet paper is costly. Cleaning with baby wipes gets nasty chemicals all up in your cracks, and sometimes your finger just might slip. So washing with Hello Tushy Bidet saves your fingers, your toilet paper costs, and I guess your beehole. With over 100,000 5-star reviews, see why millions of real pooping humans, like me and you, already love the Hello Tushy Bidet. Every Hello Tushy bidet attachment comes with a 30-day risk-free guarantee and a 12-month warranty. If you enjoy your me time, and sometimes your me time is on the toilet, you should get yourself a Tushy too, because no one likes a dirty beehole, and it feels good. The Hello Tushy bidet cleans your bum with a fresh stream of water that is 2 times better than wiping and prevents poo particles from spreading to your hands and everything you touch. It attaches to your existing toilet, requires no electricity or additional plumbing, and cuts toilet paper use by 80%. A Hello Tushy bidet pays for itself in under a year. Stop wiping and start washing. Go to hellotushy.com/TLC and use promo code TLC for 10% off your first order. That's hellotushy.com/TLC for 10% off.
David, were you a chubster? Glow up story?
No, he had those trench on thighs and that thick neck.
Was not a chubster.
He said, I've been fine forever.
But I had a different problem. I was a latchkey kid with very little supervision, and quite literally sports saved my life. I mean, I can just put it out there like that, because I had so much energy. I was doing everything but what I should have been doing. Okay, and it was difficult to play sports because I was always the biggest kid in the room. And back then, if you were a certain size, you couldn't play.
Yeah.
Because you were too large for the
Yeah,
whatever.
you either got to go up to the next
Really?
group or you can't play.
Yeah. I grew really early and really fast. So I was, you'll see my kindergarten picture. I'm like the only kid whose legs are all the way down to the ground. Everybody else is,
On the
it's
bleachers.
hilarious. It's funny. But anyway, and then, I had a single mom. My dad was virtually non-existent in my life when I was young. And so, because of that, I had to seek, guidance and everything else elsewhere. And my friends became, who I hung with. And, of course, my nieces and nephews who were close in age. My sisters are 20 and 15 years older than me, so my nieces and nephews were pretty close to my age.
So you guys are close in age?
We're seven years apart?
Yeah,
We're like 6-7 years apart. Me and Pam, my niece, me and Pam are like a year and a half. Me and Chris are like 2.5 years.
Got it.
Me and Kim are 4 years.
I used to always trip out when I'd be like, they're the same age pretty
Yeah.
much. And they'd be like, Uncle David, and I'd be like, should
Why
I
are
be
you calling him uncle?
No, it really had me look at my life like, should I be using uncle and auntie more in my life from like a respectful adult point of view? But okay, back to your story.
Yeah. So anyway, I was lucky to get here.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I looked to my friends and all that kind of stuff for guidance. And, some of them were in the same situation I was, so what are you going to do? So I kind of got in a lot of trouble as a kid. The elementary school that I was going to at that time, when the neighborhood school, my mother used to have to pick me up at lunchtime because I was just too disruptive to be on the yard during lunch and recess.
That's
Wait,
wild.
so she would pick you up during lunch and recess and then
She'd
bring
pick me
you
up
back?
and then bring me back for class.
David.
Yeah. So I had a very
The fact that the school had to like have this conversation with a parent and be like,
Would you just eat
don't know
lunch
what
in
to
the
do.
car with your mom?
it was actually kind of cool because she would take me to cool restaurants and we.
Oh, hell no. You got rewarded for bad behavior.
I would have been at the school throwing soccer balls at the teacher too. Like, I'm going to go with my mama too.
no, I've been like, it's not you, baby. You're wonderful.
It's
the
them.
school. Let's go eat.
No, oh yeah.
Wow.
No, they thought I was crazy. And, I really was. I was hyperactive. I mean, they have names for this stuff now.
Yeah.
But back when I was a kid, it was just like, oh, the kid's out of control,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So anyway,
They were not equipped.
they weren't equipped to deal with that.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with me. So, well, you got to get them out of here for now, that kind of thing. So anyway, but I made it through, went on to junior high school. Started playing sports really with baseball. Didn't play football because I was always too big. I couldn't play with kids my age or, that kind of stuff. So
Crazy rule, but okay.
it was crazy rule back then. So I started playing baseball. Enjoyed that. Kind of developed a knack for it. Got decent, but I didn't really have a love for it. I learned how to play football, basically playing sandlot, which means at the park, with a bunch of guys, no
Yeah.
pads, nothing, just kind of playing football. So anyway, I sort of cut my teeth there doing it that way. We got to, let's see, about the 10th grade at my high school. Got in high school. I got there and wasn't able to play the first semester because I transferred from another school or transferred from another district. So back then, you had to sit out a semester if you transferred in. They changed that now.
Could you still practice with the team?
No.
You can't do anything.
Couldn't do
associated
anything.
with the
Yeah, I
team.
had to sit out. That rule's gone. It was a dumb rule then, and it's but it's gone now. So I couldn't play. So I ended up just sitting out that year. That would have been the first year I would have been able to play football.
Yeah.
So I played baseball in that spring or whatever, and everything was cool. And then the following year, I was going to play football. Now I had never played football, in an organized fashion before, right? So I went out there and said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to play receiver." I was tall.
Yeah.
I was big. I had a little bit of speed, but I had no hands. I had hands of stone, so it's like I wouldn't catch anything. And they were like,
I just imagine David running, thinking, "Oh, I got this," and
I
then
could get over it. Right.
Damn.
With his thick neck, his tree trunk thighs, and his hands
Well, that all came
and
later.
the ball
But
just bounced off his hands, and he's like,
So by this time, you're in like 11th grade.
yeah, I'm sick. I was always the youngest kid in the class. So I
Yeah.
was 16, and I was 16, starting 11th grade.
Still haven't played on.
Oh, actually, I was
organized team.
15, starting 11th grade.
Oh wait. Oh, you were young.
Yeah, I turned 16 during the year.
Yeah.
But so I'm 15 years old. I'm out there, and then the coach says, "Well, receiver's probably not your position."
Damn.
I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, where should I play?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, why don't we try you at nose guard?"
Okay.
Okay.
Who's
I've
that?
never
Where's
heard
that?
nose
Now,
guard.
nose guard is a long way from receiver. All right, but it's basically you're playing over the center on
Person
defense.
who likes the ball.
The person who hikes the ball, and your job is to kick that person's ass.
To
and
block them or
no,
to
kick
on the
their
line.
knock
ass
them out?
and find the person with the ball.
Okay.
And that was the training that I got. The coach, because he saw my aggression, I was very aggressive, and I was a big kid. So he said, "All right, Bo, this is what I need you to do. That dude right there, wear him out, and whoever has the ball, go get him."
This is like Waterboy.
That was the instruction.
Him.
Tackling field.
Chase.
Yeah. So that's literally what I did. And I was able to do it with such efficiency that the first year I played football, I was all city. And I had never even, played before.
yeah.
So I'm all city. So all of a sudden I'm getting all these accolades and stuff. And I'm like, okay. So I guess is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Cool.
Right. So the next year they moved me to linebacker, and I played well and did my thing and stuff. So because the grades weren't perfect. I mean, they weren't as much as they should have been, but they were okay. They were good enough to go, but it wasn't good to go to a major university at that time. So I got a few offers, but I ended up going to JC. So I went to another JC and was able to be very successful there. I made All-American, All-State, All-American, all that stuff at this JC. And then went on to, I can say the college, right? Mm-hmm. Then I went on to Texas Tech University. I had probably 40 scholarship offers.
Oh, you could say stuff. I just don't say
Okay.
personal stuff. Like,
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't want to,
yeah.
So I had about 40 scholarship offers, and I took the one to go to Texas Tech.
Cool.
And went there. And, it's kind of really where the football career really started. You know what I mean? Because I was there and I was able to have a couple good years. I started at Texas Tech, and on draft day, got the call from, Denver Broncos, who called me, and they had a spring program, so they brought in 12 linebackers for the spring. Everybody else had to come in later on in the fall, but they brought 12 of us in early, and I was able to have some success, and they cut it down, and 4 of us ended up there still. And so then, along comes training camp in the fall. So went into training camp, I was probably number 2 or number 3 behind a guy named Jim Ryan. And unfortunately, I got an injury. I kind of blew out a hamstring. Zach can can relate to that.
Get you.
Yeah, and so at that point, Dan Reeves, who was the head coach then, he pulled me into the office, and he's like, "Hey, Bo, look, here's the deal. We like you. You were out here during the spring. We like what you're doing. We only have so many spots. We're offering you can stay here and you can be on injured reserve and then, come back later. Or we can send you home. Here, we're going to cut you a check. You can go home and you can come back in next fall, back in the training camp but that would allow us to bring another person in. So I was like, oh, okay, what the hell? I was a little homesick anyway.
That's still, I think that's cool that they gave that option.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
saw something in you, injured or not. They were like,
Right.
you.
Well, they like what they saw up to that point.
You were still
So, yeah.
able to perform and like.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so I went home and, with the, plan to train and get ready, get healed up and all that kind of stuff and go back in the next year. And while I was home, I, had a lot of friends I had gone to school with or whatever, but one of my buddies had gotten on the fire department. Okay. Eugene.
Yeah.
Eugene was on the department.
Up rolling. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So I knew nothing about the fire department. I mean, zero. Nothing. I just thought, maybe it's a cool job, right? So anyway, he rolls up in the baddest 911 Porsche.
And how old are you around this time?
We're 23, so he rolls up in the Porsche. He's got this badass, apartment in the valley and stuff. And I was like, firemen do it like that? I had no idea, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, Bo, this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay. And he says, just take the test. And it just was one of those windows of opportunity. He said, you just go down and take the test, man. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to train, get ready to go back and play some ball, NFL or fire department. NFL,
Wait, so
fire
back
department.
then, it was just, you just go take the test.
Yeah.
That's it.
You put in the
process.
interest card and then they call you. They send you a date.
And damn.
Yeah.
And they
so,
changed it. This
Come
is
on,
the,
put
the
it back.
way,
I want to take the test.
The way to get on the fire department out here is so.
Well, you got to go through a
different.
whole
It's-
school
yeah, it's a
program.
whole
then you got to
thing.
go through the whole physical program. Yeah, it's a whole.
it's a whole thing. But so anyway, I get, I go in and I put in my interest card. They call me, say, okay, come down and take the
Interest
test.
card.
Yeah, you got to put in an interest card. So I go down to Hollywood High School. Okay, it was like 20,000 people down there.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm looking this way. I mean, it's like 10 people wide and like the whole block. And I'm like, wow. I guess I didn't know about all this.
Yeah.
So I stood in line all day, went in, took the test, knocked it out. I mean, I'm just out of college. Am I going to pass a civil service? Probably, right?
Yeah.
So I get the, pass the test or whatever, and then that just got fast-tracked. Before I knew it, it was like they were sending me stuff like, okay, come down here for this test. So we get the physical test. I go down there,
They saw him walk in. They said,
and yeah, exactly.
we
The
want
big one right there.
he can carry me
I hate
out
to
the
say it.
burning building. Like,
It was kind of easy. I get to the physical test, and you got to do.
he looks in shape already.
Right. So I walked in like right out of football camp, right?
Yes.
Knocked everything out, like scored the highest score, and it almost broke records and stuff. They were like,
Him right there, him.
yeah.
Enter that building.
Exactly. So, boom, get through that. I sit down in the interview. Funny thing is, I go to the interview, and of course, they have my resume. What was your last job in your interview? NFL. That's the first thing they see. So I get into the interview, and they don't even ask me anything about the fire department.
Wait, I have a question. Okay, after you got out of college, did it just go college to like this football experience? Like, were there in between jobs?
No.
Like, was
No.
your first job the NFL?
My first real job was actually NFL. It was very
I don't
brief.
know why that was so funny to me.
It was
just
very
now. I'm
brief,
just
but
putting
it
this
was a
together.
paycheck, right?
Yeah.
No, it's still that. It
Yeah.
is what it is. That's great.
So it was hilarious when I think about it. So I go into the interview, and it's like, okay, Mr. Bolger, we see you done this, that, and the other. So tell me about Denver. How was Elway?
So they started asking me. They
Yeah,
like,
how's
they don't give a
Elway?
damn about no fire department. We just want to know.
I said, well, Elway, I hurt my leg chasing Elway. That's how I got hurt. And I got in trouble for that, too. I was chasing Elway in practice.
supposed to.
And I got too close to him. They chewed my ass
Yeah,
out.
they ain't fucking around with that.
They were
That's-
like,
that's
okay,
they-
we appreciate you, but you ain't this dude. Don't touch him. It was that kind of thing.
Nice
right?
try, but no.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to make the team. I'm trying
Wait,
to.
once you got hurt, I don't know if I missed this because Ryder had to go to the bathroom. Once you got hurt and you came home, was there a chance for you to get better to go back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's why I agreed to leave, because they, like I said, they cut me a check and they said, hey, we can either put you on injured reserve, which means I would have stayed in Denver and waited to get well and then, proceeded on with the team.
Yeah.
Or you can go home, we'll cut you a check, and then you can come back in. You already have an open invitation to come back in
Once
for
you're
next.
better.
Once you're better, yeah, for like the next season or whatever.
No way.
And so that's
Yeah,
what you missed.
no way.
But so anyway, no, it just kind of went from there. And so the fire department opened up, that door opened up, and then I had to make a decision. It's like, are you going to go back, or are you going to, pursue this? And when I thought about everything, the percentage of people that actually have a lengthy career in the NFL. I mean, I was looking at all these stats and everything. Average, I think, NFL career is 3.5 years. You don't even get a pension until you get 5 years in. Your likelihood of getting injured is way up here. And then me not being a high draft pick, I mean, being a free agent, I mean, it's even less.
And you went as linebacker, right?
Yeah, I went as
that's
linebacker.
a high injury position.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
running
high
back.
injury, So I kind of made a calculated decision. You know, once I found out that the fire department offered all of that, because I had no idea that it was like that. So I was like, whoa, this is a career.
Yeah.
So I just went for it. I jumped on it, and turns out to be probably one of the better decisions I made in my life, because I was able to get have a great career.
Was there ever a moment that you were like, damn, I wish I picked the NFL?
I wouldn't say a moment where I say, damn, I wish I picked it, but there were times where I would just daydream and feel like, wow, I could have done this. Because I saw guys that I played with in college or whatever that were excelling, and I was better than them, One guy in particular, I'm not going to mention his name, but he was an offensive lineman that played for the Bengals, and I played with this guy. He was my teammate in college, and every day I would just destroy this dude. I mean, it was like he wasn't even there.
Yeah.
He could not mess with me, okay? But he went on to have a 14-year NFL career and made millions of dollars. And I'm like, wow, this cat, he couldn't even touch me, man, but he was able to do, so there was that. And then, but no, I won't say any regrets, because, I mean, things went well, and then I was able to have a few outlets on the fire department. We had like a little sort of a semi-pro team or whatever. So I went out there and played a couple years.
Oh, that's good.
And so it was fun. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it was LA Heat.
I didn't know they had a
Oh
team
yeah,
like
I see. Okay.
Remember LA Heat?
I see. Yeah.
So I was able to have some fun doing that, and the highlight of that was one year we played LAPD, and LAPD was the team that nobody could beat. So this particular year, I came out for the team, and a few other guys that had some NFL experience came out for the team. We wore LAPD's ass out. Goose egg. All right, we beat them like 21-0 or something like that.
Goose egg.
Oh, the little
They could not
I
score on
never
us.
even heard goose egg. Like,
Right. They could not score on us, and I got defensive player of the game.
That would have been a fun game to play.
On top of it. So that gave me my little high, my little football high.
Yeah,
And I was
you
like,
were
okay, I'm
good.
good now.
Damn.
like, I got it.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Dave, he's on the golf course.
But you're coaching now.
Yeah, I'm coaching now. I just recently started coaching at one of the local high schools here, and it's very fulfilling. I'm having a great time. Matter of fact, as soon as I get done here, I'm on my way to our game, actually.
Who's first game against?
It's Damien High School.
Damien High School. Never heard of Damien.
Yeah.
Do you like the kids or the guys?
Oh, the kids are great. I mean, the kids that I'm coaching now, they, some of them are kind of privileged kids. It's kind of a prep school or whatever. But there's a lot of talent out there, believe it or not. And these kids are freshmen. I got the freshmen right now. So some of them have never played football before.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is I get to teach. You know what I mean? I get to teach technique. I can teach all this kind of stuff. And then, like Turhan was talking about, inspiring. There's nothing, better than inspiring young people.
Yeah.
It's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
I like this.
I know. It's cool to get to know you guys in like this world. We know you like in our own family world, but when you guys are all talking about like your backgrounds in sports, you each get excited like in your own way when you're telling your journeys and your stories.
And it kind of seems like with the age, like, younger to older, it does have that opportunity to come full circle again.
Yeah.
So, Zach, we're going to get you on that field. You're going to watch a game one day. Like, and I pray that you're able to enjoy it again. And
when the time is right, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
But I will say Ace does have an arm. And
he does.
I do see Zach light up when, like, Ace is going. He's like, go, son.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's fulfilling.
Coming. Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel very blessed that our boys have so many outlets of, like, just male inspiration within, like, sports in a different variety of sports.
Right.
So
I mean, sports, it's truly can be a lifestyle. I credit sports with basically saving my life.
Yeah.
Because, I was kind of a knucklehead,
Kind of. Your mom had to pick you up for recess and lunch.
Yeah, then there's that, right? But, I mean, it got me off the streets because, all that energy I had, and I was a big kid, I was strong, I was athletic and all that stuff, but that energy, if it was displaced, it was in the wrong direction, it would not be good. I was able to channel it into sports.
Yeah. At a later age too.
Yeah.
So it's like people who are like, oh, I'm not athletic or I haven't been that athletic person.
Yeah.
You don't know when it's your time.
You never know.
Your journey didn't start later on. Turhan, you decided when your journey started. You took hold of your journey, and it blossomed into like a long-standing like career and journey. So it's I love sports. I'm excited to live through my kids and their sports life.
Oh, you got a couple
I know their
ballers,
dad
too.
is. Yeah. Just to like not be hard on the boys. I don't like the word perfect, so I always say practice makes permanent. And Bob will be like, no, Mom, practice makes perfect. And I'm like, whatever, just keep doing it. And like now he's on this thing where every day he wakes up, when he wakes up, he calls his dad, they do push-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's starting him on his little work discipline.
And that is
routine.
So important. You know, I just sometimes I think about,
and he's 4.
where would I have gone had my dad been involved in my life like that? You know what I mean? He wasn't, but had he been, I was able to achieve X, Y, and Z without that. So think if I had that type of encouragement, that type of, pushing and all that stuff,
Yeah, I get that.
as a kid. So, that's want to give to the grandkids now,
Yeah.
There's a lot of experience here. We can.
Well, I have no experience with sports, but I
great
agree with all you
cheerleader.
guys. So normally the way we end our podcast, and again, you guys, this is going to be 2 parts. So this is our first part. You guys got to get to know the guys. Next part, we're going to dive deeper into TurboFit app and Turhan's experience with developing the app, Zach's experience being brought into the app. But normally the way we end it is we allow everyone to either give advice or you can share a WTF moment of your week.
Yeah.
It's up to you, whatever you want to do. We'll let you 3 take it over this week.
Y'all gotta do it too. I got my I was about to say WWF.
What's your WTF?
My WTF, man, Will's at the house. All right, we just got our yard like trenched too, so it's like nice and flat and it's like fluffy dirt. And we just had this fake hurricane Hillary just hit us. And it was, it left some puddles in the back.
The word fake with this?
This was before the hurricane. I don't know. I went on the balcony, man, and I looked down. My son was butt naked, covered in all dirt. Like, literally looked like he just crawled out of a grave, just covered.
Not a grave.
And just in Crocs. And that's it. And he had, what did he have in his hand?
A shovel.
And a shovel. Running around like, gaga! And I'm looking at Sean like, babe, what are you doing? She was like, what?
Digging.
He was digging.
He was digging.
Never seen nothing like it.
Zach was so mad.
No, covered. All you can see is little white eyeballs.
Stop.
He was
And he was
digging.
probably smiling so hard.
He was so happy.
He was happy, but
I'm
I
like,
was
let
just,
him dig, Zach.
it had me like, what the fuck? So that was the WTF.
That was a good WTF.
That's actually a funny one.
Yeah,
I
that
can
was
picture
good.
the whole thing.
Zach was looking
Ass
at me
naked
like
in
I was
Crocs
crazy.
And a little shovel, mini shovel.
We let our kids explore.
I look shit. Okay, Dave, Turhan, you guys got a WTF or advice this week?
Well, let's see. WTF. Make sure that your inflatable air mattress does not have a leak.
Oh. I heard, yeah.
Well, the kids, as happens often, the kids stay at our house. The grandkids all stay at our house. And we have Marvin and I, we have a blow-up mattress that we'll put up so that we can all be in the same room, but we can't all sleep in the same bed because the kids sleep everywhere. They sleep wild. They sleep wild.
They change positions.
So some kind of way. I remember we set up the air mattress and the kids were all jumping on it, before they got in it. So they must have dislodged something a little bit. So they all get in bed. So it's Margaret and Ryder and I think Ace. It was just the 3 of them were over there. Mm-hmm. And so about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, I guess the air came out. The air comes out the mattress, and they're in the middle, so it turned into a taco. So they all came together.
Damn.
So then I kind of woke up and kind of looked over there, and I kind of went back to sleep. And then,
Oh my God.
and then they all came and got in bed with me, right? So now there's 4 or 5 of us in the bed, and then I wake up and riders spooning me, her leg is across my neck, and it was hilarious. But anyway, that was my
That was your
my-
WTF.
That was my WTF.
It's the fact that you
At
said
night.
I woke up and they were tacoed and I went back to sleep.
Between the tacoing and them getting into the bed when they were tacoed, at one point, Mom said she rolled off. And then Ryder popped up and rolled off. Because it was this all.
The air was moving
The
around.
air was displacing. And it was,
Oh my god.
So they had a little game of popcorn.
it was hilarious.
That is a WTF.
Yeah.
Turhan, what do you got?
Well, I think I'll just give some advice.
Okay.
So, everyone at the table here has had, athletic experience and experience with, coaches and mentors. So we're in the fitness world now. Excuse me. And, there's this saying that I actually kind of learned recently that it takes one person to gain weight, but it takes two people to lose it. And what that means to me is, everyone's on a journey and everybody needs help and everybody has different situations, whether it's, emotional, psychological, whatever. But we need to reach out to each other and support one another. And when, we begin to talk about the fitness application, that's what it's all about, building a community and being there for each other. And
I like that.
So-
Being that support,
yeah.
that cheerleader.
That was good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That was really good.
Hey.
Well said.
I know.
That was beautiful.
All right, I think because we don't have time, we should just wrap it.
Let's
All
wrap
right.
it. Let's hit it.
We appreciate you guys coming on here and sharing your stories with us. We're excited for part 2, so make sure you guys stay tuned for next week's upload where you're going to get to hear all about the TurboFit app. And babe, you want to tell them where they can follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at z.terrel.
Where can they find you, Dave?
Right.
Yeah, turbofitapp.com.
That's for both of us.
Yeah, and just look up TurboFit on IG as well, and yeah.
We'll also put all the information down below. But thank you guys for tuning in with us this week. Again, my name is R. You can find me at RKylin.
And you can follow me at Shy Not Shy, and you can follow us at Think Loud Crew on Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And do not forget to tell your crew about our crew. Yay!